Hey, welcome everybody to Accelebration. This is the time to accelerate and celebrate and everything in between. I'm Noah, and this is Humanity's team, and we are pleased to join you in this ceremonial send-off into the weekend that becomes the week beginning. So we have a lovely program, a lovely show for you today. Lots to discuss, lots to feel into, lots to share. We have our chat right here, and I can see anybody who chats. So feel free to bring your chats into the program. We will address them, whether you're watching from some social network or the live feed itself or something else. Sophie, congratulations for the first one to chat. And also, Sophie, I'm pretty sure you're the one that led us into sending the intention for Lynn McTaggart to join us on the program when we were having technical difficulties. So welcome everybody again. Grab your glass of water or whatever you'd like. Steve would always have a kombucha. Steve is currently in the island of Hawaii on a lovely trip. So he will be back with us next week. But for this week, we actually have at least two special guests with us. The first of which is Pamela Rai, who leads wonderful and beautiful meditations, light meditations. So, Jim, I don't know if we could pull Pamela into the picture here, but hello, Pamela. Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. And I'm wondering, Pamela, if you can share a bit with us about your meditations, and then tell us what meditation you'll be bringing to us, and then you can actually go into your meditation.
Great. Thank you so much, Noe. It's really a pleasure to be with all of you today and your community. I'm halfway across the world in India. It's midnight here, but I'm feeling very deeply connected with all of you. And before I start the meditation, I just want to put into context where it came from, what it's all about. We call ourselves Bansuri, which in the Indian language means a flute. And it began as an experiment in inner transformation, leading to peace in our world. Started somewhere in the 1990s, and we were blessed to meet an incredible human being who shared her experiences of a deeper understanding of the scriptures and a spiritual way of life. And a culmination of her life's experiences was to take the teaching of great masters across all religions forward in a practical and interactive way, reaching out to people to tap their own potential through silence and then expressing it into action. Her philosophy is centered around the idea of a universal prayer and inclusiveness of different faiths and spiritual masters. The idea actually during a New Christian dialogue at the Encinitas Center in California of the Self-Realization Fellowship. And then it was brought to India, where with a common goal, a group came together to focus on the formless aspect of the divine and to meditate on light. World prayer became the central focus, and the ideal was that there is only one religion of love, only one language of the heart, only one caste of humanity, and there is actually the one who is omnipresent. It was a new concept, and the seed was planted in a space called sanctuary to transform hearts and minds from which may radiate a new way of life. Years earlier, Eileen Caddy of the Findhorn experiment in Scotland had received a similar message. A new concept has to be tried out with a few before it can be given to the many. It takes great love, patience, dedication, and devotion. When you are at the spearhead of the new age, you must be willing to go ahead fearlessly and try out the newest of the new. Our journey as a group was for a period of about 15 years, and many lives were touched in India and the US. And members of the original group continue their practice in their own spaces and their own inclinations. During our journey, a thought was shared. Where is our mind when we light a lamp or a candle? In our homes, in our places of worship, or in our silent spaces? At that time, if each one of us could focus on just this one thought, that we are in the light is in us, and that we are the light. In 1967, Indira Devi, often called the First Lady of Yoga, had introduced a method of light meditation in India. And she said, you give love and light to everybody. Those who love you, those who harm you, those whom you know, those whom you don't know. It makes no difference. You just give love and light. She has been a great inspiration on our journey. Today, in immense gratitude to all my spiritual teachers, I am humbled to share with you this meditation on light for peace in our world. As I guide you through this meditation, I request you to sit back and relax, gently close your eyes. At the end, I will play a piece of instrumental music that has touched many hearts, some without even knowing that the words of this song carried immense depth. And I will share that with you. It was also an absolute favorite of Mahatma Gandhi. Can we start the meditation, please? We start with a prayer for forgiveness. For all the harm that I have done to others, forgive me. For all the harm that others have done to me, I forgive you. For all the harm that I have done to myself, I forgive myself. Let us invoke the all-pervading presence and light to manifest itself in our being. As we take the divine light, we offer a love and gratitude to that infinite spirit. In order to free our mind from all darkness, doubt, and despondent thoughts, let us meditate upon the great light beyond all darkness, light of the soul, whose presence revives and redeems one from the weight of the body. The light which resides in the sun, in the moon, in fire, and which illumines the whole world, know that light to be mine. From the Gita of the Hindus. Where there is light, there can be no darkness. Saint John. Light is the most perfect symbol of truth. All great religions of the world have held this symbol in one way or the other. The candle throws its soft glow upon the altar. The vigil lamp burns and flickers steadily day and night. And these are mere symbolic suggestions that we may not fail to keep the inner life lighted up. External illuminations cannot in any way dispel darkness which enshrouds our mind and heart. Therefore, we must train our thoughts to look to the light within for our guidance and inspiration. When our mind and heart is pure, we will be guided correctly. Where this light shines, everything will be illumined. This light must penetrate into our being, every part of our being. For wherever this light touches, whatever it touches will be redeemed. So long as our mind remains outgoing and scattered, it will not be easy for us to find our contact with this inner light. Let us form a regular habit of meditation on the effulgent spirit as light. My body is full of light. My mind is full of light. My heart is full of light. My hands, my feet, and all my senses are filled with light. My entire body is glowing with the divine light. There is no room for darkness within me or without. Let us keep ourselves filled with this divine radiance at all hours of day and night. Now send this light to your entire neighborhood, your entire city. Let it expand. Your entire country is now filled with the divine light. It continues to expand across all the countries of the world. Imagine that the entire earth is illumined with the light. Let the light expand to now bring the light back towards you, sending it to animals and plants everywhere. May the light touch every being. And may all be safe from inner and outer harm. May all be happy and peaceful. May all be strong and healthy. And may all take care of themselves with joy. May the world be filled with love, light, and peace. Remain immersed in the light. I am in the light. The light is in me. And I am the light. I am the light. I am the light. The words of this music are, they are the real lovers of God who feel others' sorrow as their own. When they perform selfless service, they are humble devotees of God, respecting all, despising none. They are pure in thought, word, and deed. They are always truthful, even-minded, never coveting another's wealth, free from all selfish attachments. They are ever in tune with the holy name. Their bodies are like sacred shrines in which the Lord of love is seen. Free from greed, anger, and fear, these are the real lovers of God.
And here we are. Wow, Pamela, thank you so much for sharing this with us. Sitting here and looking out at the clouds drift by, and just the calm space that you share is very comforting and empowering and helpful for all of us. So thank you, Pamela. Now, we have another guest actually with us, and thank you again, Pamela. And again, Pamela is joining us from India, and it is tomorrow in India for us, for anybody who is on April 9th. I think it's April 10th in India now. We have another guest that's with us today, and thank you for being here. We have a Karen, and this Karen is my mother and my Ima, Karen Noe. Hello, Karen. Still here, and this is Karen Noe, and the theme that we're bringing in, of course, Pamela started off with our just light meditation here that she calls it. And so this is essentially the theme of our conversation, of this attraction to the light in our thoughts and our being and our expression and our focus. And Karen offers a very particular reference vantage point on this. Karen is a author and psychic medium, and she just regularly brings in communication from people who are typically labeled as dead. People come and are able to speak with these people who are dead, who are no longer, yet they somehow are. So Karen, I'm not sure if you want to share with us some insight and wisdom launching from Pamela's meditation into what people tend to share from this realm of light we may label.
as if you are the other person. Because what happens is your body is no longer separating you from everyone else. So you leave the physical body, the shell, the wrapping paper of who you are, and then you can feel your oneness immediately. So you can see through each person's eyes that you affected in your lifetime here. You can see through the eyes of God, because God is part of you as well. And it's only love and it's only peace. It's you see the bigger perspective, but you're in a state of complete love and light.
And so, of course, we have something special to share with everybody here. Karen is, and thank you everybody for bearing with us. This is a live broadcast, and the nature of live things is sometimes you got to push the button twice to get things to work. So thank you, Sophie, and everybody in chat that are joining us. We will be sharing a sneak peek, a little snippet, shortly into Karen is filming a certification program with us called We Consciousness, and this is a series of videos that complements her book called We Consciousness. And I'm wondering, Karen, if you could tell us a bit about We Consciousness and how what you're sharing led into this inception, into birthing We Consciousness through your own experience and to sharing it with all of us.
Okay, that's a lot. What happened was quite a few years ago when Dr. Wayne Dyer left the physical plane. I, along with everyone else, we were very devastated. We thought that was it. We thought he left, he's never going to be helping us anymore, and so forth. I'm sorry, I'm distracted because my voice is coming and then my lips, I won't even look at myself, that's all. But so we left the physical body, and shortly afterwards, I was scheduled to speak at an I Can Do It event with my publisher, Hay House, in Orlando, Florida. They were going to be celebrating his life, Dr. Wayne Dyer's life, and I was scheduled to speak about life after death at that event. So they asked me to come a day earlier to go to this event. And as I was at the event, we went on an author bus, and it was right outside the hotel. And on the author bus, I'm sitting there, and there's only one seat available on the whole bus next to me. And it happens to be, there's no other seats available. And Tim, is there something we could do? It's very distracting. I can't, the lip syncing is off.
Is this better?
I don't know, Tim. If I look at myself on the screen.
You don't have to look at you. Look at the camera. You can look above the computer.
All right. Because I want this to be the best for everybody.
Continue the story.
All right.
Just tell the story, please.
So I will tell the story, and this is the story. So there's an author bus that was outside the hotel, going from the hotel to the conference center where they were going to be doing the event for Wayne Dyer. And I'm sitting on the bus, and there's no seats available, only one seat. And in walks Serena Dyer, which is one of Wayne Dyer's children. And she sits down next to me. The rest is history. I go more into detail with the We Consciousness in the book. But a long series of events, which brought her and two sisters, along with her mother, in from Florida to come to see me in New Jersey to connect with their dad and husband. And the rest is history. And he came through loud and clear for a couple of years with very pertinent messages for the world. But what happened during that time, he joined forces with a group consciousness called the We Guides. And in the group consciousness, it would be hard to differentiate him from everyone else. He would join forces with, all the angels and the saints, ascended masters, and so forth. So when he came through singularly for his children and his wife, he came as a group consciousness called the We Guides. And they brought together 33 concepts of the We Consciousness. And what the We Consciousness is, it's basically that we are all one. And whatever we do to ourselves or another, it affects the whole. And this oneness includes everyone and everything, including animals. angels, ascended masters, beings from other dimensions, and so forth. And every person on this planet, on all other planets as well. So
Beautiful.
that's basically,
So
yeah.
Jim, if you don't mind, let's play a snippet. This is concept 13 from the Week Consciousness, and this is just a taste of a series that is not even yet available. It will be in Humanity Stream. So this is this program is sponsored by Humanity Stream Plus, and feel free to read all about this beautiful platform for conscious and spiritual streaming. So, Jim, let's see.
Hi, and welcome back to the 33 Concepts of the We Consciousness. Today we're talking about concept number 13. And concept 13 states that you are an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience on the planet. This I know without a doubt, and my wish is for you to know it too. As you know, I'm a psychic medium. I've been doing messages for over 20 years to many thousands of people. And some of the messages that come through even blow my mind. There's no way that I would know these things. They have to be coming directly from the person who has crossed over. Which shows you that this life is not all there is. The energy of who we are continues. Let me share some of the messages that I received I could take forever and tell you some of these things, but I'll give you two today. One that stands out in my mind is one of Teresa. This was many years ago when I first started doing messages. And Teresa wanted to come to see me for a reading. And even at that time, I was booked for quite a while out. And I said, I'm sorry, Teresa, I don't have anything for you for over a year ahead of time. I said, but I am teaching a class tonight. Would you like to come to the class? And she said, yes. The class was on how to connect with angels and deceased loved ones. So I'm teaching the class, and as I'm teaching the class, her dad comes through. And her dad says that to tell Teresa that the missing money is located in the attic under the pink insulation in the corner of the room. And her eyes, Teresa's eyes, got so big and said, thank you. I've been looking for my dad passed away recently, and he hid money in the house, and we can't find it. She said, but I don't think he would put it up there. I said, I don't know. That's what he's saying. Why don't you try when you go home? So the class was over, and I'm cleaning up, and the phone rings. And I pick up the phone, and it's Teresa, and she's very excited. You know what I'm going to say. She said she went to the attic under the pink insulation in the corner of the room, and she found a substantial amount of money. There's no way I would have known that. Nobody knew that other than her dad. Another reading that comes to mind is Christy. Christy came with her husband, and this was many years ago as well. And as they first came, the first appointment they came to, 4 babies came through, all the same age. And she said, yes, she lost quadruplets. And I told her, I'm sorry, but they're here, and they're with your grandparents. And one of her grandparents' name was Teresa. It's not the same Teresa, same name, different person. And her grandfather came through and so forth, and saying that they were with the babies. Well, several months later, I'm meditating, and Christy's grandmother comes through to me and says, call Christy. Christy's pregnant. And I said, what? Okay. So I called Christy, and I said, Christy, your grandma's here, and she's telling me that you're pregnant. And she said, I am? I don't know that. I said, take the pregnancy test. So I hung up the phone and I went out for lunch. And as I'm driving, a car cuts me off, and on the license plate it said 2 quads. I took that to mean a sign from her grandma that 2 of the quadruplets are going to come back right now, that she's pregnant. So I called her up the next day, and I told her what happened, and she told me that she took the pregnancy test and she was pregnant. And 9 months later, or 8 months later, she must have been 1 or 2 months before that, she had given birth to twins. Two of the quadruplets indeed came back to the physical body. I could go on and on and on. And I know without a doubt that this life is only temporary. You are an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience here on the planet. Again, I know that without a doubt, but my wish is for you to know it too. That's it for today. Have a wonderful, peaceful day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
So isn't this nice? So we have, thank you, Karen. We have also in chat, we have a third Teresa. So Teresa R, I think that's Teresa Roscoe. Thank you for joining us. Now this series is called We Consciousness, and it's 33 concepts, and it's meant to be taken one concept a day. And so it's very easily digestible. Now, my question for you, Karen, is Wayne, now, I'm sure those of us here are at least open-minded enough to feel into these and see the validity and the truth of these stories, that this had to have been coming from somebody who was living in a physical, somehow the physical body is no longer, but the person is still here and they're still communicating. And this has a profound shaping on how we see the world, how we experience the world, what is the world in our view, and it leads us into much greater potential, in the sense of essentially you're bringing in we guides. Karen is bringing in we guides, which is just a name for this consciousness, including Wayne Dyer. So, often in the world, people seek advice, seek for learnings, and seek for feedback and tools from people with bodies, physical bodies. But what you're sharing with us, Karen, is essentially this tool, this mindset, this approach where we can consult consciousness that isn't necessarily limited to a body. So you can feel comfortable asking Wayne Dyer, essentially, what Wayne Dyer thinks about something or other. Then I'm wondering, what do you think about this?
So this is true, and it's not just what Karen Noe can do, and this is extremely important. Every single one of you out there, you're all able to do exactly what I'm doing. You have to just learn how to tap into that knowingness of how to connect. The most important thing I would tell you to do is to meditate every single day, to quiet your thoughts, because for the most part, they come to us as thoughts. Most people expect to hear a voice or to see an apparition of their loved one or the angels or an ascended master, but they speak to us most often telepathically or with signs or in dreams. So to notice that, but the most important thing is to take the time every single day. I meditate every day, not with the intention of connecting during that time, but the intention of quieting my thoughts so that the remainder of the day I'm able to connect with theirs. And they speak to us all the time, to notice the thoughts that just pop in your head for no reason. The sign that comes to you that you know without a doubt it's your aunt or your mother, father, sister, brother, an angel, and there's so many ways that they do this. I call them without a doubt signs, to let us know that they're with us. So to tap into that knowledge, because we are energy. And that clip that we just shared, it's just one of the concepts of the we consciousness. There are 33. But that particular concept says that we are a spiritual being having a temporary experience here on the planet. Okay, so to understand, to tap into that knowledge of who we really are. And who we really are isn't this body. The essence of who we are is this energy. We are one with God, with all the angels, all the ascended masters, everyone and everything. And with that knowingness, we could create miracles in our lives and in the world as well. And the only difference I always share between a miracle worker and one who's not is that the miracle worker remembers who they are and they know this. That's it.
Yes, indeed. So, what does Wayne want to share with us today?
Well, Wayne, this is the same with deceased loved ones. You can't just say, come in and speak, which a lot of times when people come to see me, I say 85%, 90% of the time they do come through. Wayne is a bigger energy that he is not bound to the earth plane right now. He has come through for the first 2 years after he left the physical body. Let me just share a few of the messages he shared with his family that I can share. A lot of it was personal. But he has 8 children and a wife as well. And a few of those messages were exactly at the time he wanted me to contact them exactly at that time. For example, one morning, 6 a.m., he told me to text his daughter, Tracy, which is his oldest daughter at that time, 6 a.m. Call Tracy now, call Tracy now. And I'm saying to him, I think I'm going crazy. I said, Wayne, it's too early. Call her now, call her now. So I texted her. I said, Tracy, I'm really sorry, but your dad is here. May I contact you? And within 1 second, she texted me back and she said, call me, absolutely, exclamation, exclamation. I said, before you say anything, this is his message to you, that he can hear you, but you can't hear him. I said, what does that mean? And she started crying. She said she just had a dream right before I texted her. And in the dream, she was screaming at her dad, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And his message was, yeah, I can hear you, but you can't hear me. And another time he wanted me to contact his children. I mean, this was for 2 years. He has 8 children along with a wife, but it was always that moment, contacted right now. So at one particular moment, he said, contact Serena, call her now, call her now. And I said, oh boy, I was making dinner. It's always at one of those times, but call her now. And I'm trying to call her and she's not answering. So I called her sister, Sage, and I said, what is going on? I said, at this particular moment, your dad wants me to call Serena. And she said, Karen, she's in the delivery room right now. She's ready to give birth. And I said, okay, his message is daddy's here, daddy's here. So it's times like that. I'll give one more example. One time I was going to the bank. I was at work and I'm on my screen, and all of a sudden on my screen, something just came over my screen. It was an old email from his son, Sans, that just came on my screen for no reason. I said, that is odd. We wrote that email about a year prior. So I said, I guess he wants me to contact Sans. So I texted Sans at that particular moment. I said, what is going on? And I explained about the email that just appeared on my screen. And he called me and he said, Karen, this is incredible. He said, I was asking my dad for a sign. He said, I'm on the plane now going from Florida to Maui, moving to Maui. And I wanted my dad to tell me if I was making the right move. And his dad contacted him at the exact time he was asking. And his dad said, it's a wonderful move and live your dream. So it's those types of things that I know without a doubt it was Wayne. There's no way I would have known that type of thing. When you said, what does he have to say for us now? It's always now when he comes through, for the most part, he's been coming through for family and very personal messages, which I really can't share here, which the family knows without a doubt. He truly is with them. But for the most part, when he combines his energy with the we guides, it's mostly a message of love and peace, and to understand that we are all one and no one is better than another, and no color, no sex, no religion, even no species is better than another. We are all equal and we have God within us. And this is extremely important for everyone to know. The power within you is incredible, but it's not greater than anyone or anything else. To understand and reclaim your power, remember who you are.
Absolutely. This is what A Course in Miracles talks about, special relationships in this context. we're all familiar with, I think we're familiar with oneness. And what A Course in Miracles shares to allow us maybe to see some blind spots that we have is it talks about special relationships. And special relationships are exactly what it sounds like. Any relationship that we put above another, if we have one relationship with somebody or something or some event that is more special than anybody or anything else, then we're adding the separation. And we're convincing ourselves, we're trying to convince ourselves that one person is more important than another. And so A Course in Miracles requests that we inspect these special relationships. This is this is Karen Noe, my mother. But I truly to embody this, I can't hold anybody in higher context than anybody else to really tap into this oneness. And this is the love. Essentially, we don't know love. We can't know love until and unless we're loving everybody and everything equally, because this is how God loves. God loves everybody and everything equally. There's no specialness in God's world. We have special roles, but special relationships is one of these things that we're called to question in A Course in Miracles. And I don't often hear this being discussed. And so I just get the sense that Wayne is always on the kind of the cutting edge of thought, even though he was inspecting the ancient texts or the poets or the philosophers, just to get the sense of the latest and greatest. And furthermore, if you can maybe share the full story with us, Karen, about when his family came and he asked them what sort of communication they wanted to hear. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So when they came to see me for the first time, first of all, I was very nervous because Wayne Dyer was and still is one of my, we can't say idol because we're all equal, but I love his books and when he spoke and so forth. So I have to begin the beginning part of this to tell you what the answer to your question. So for several weeks, several months before the meeting with his family, because as I was saying before, I'm very booked with appointments, and someone actually was able to change their appointment so I could allow the Dyers to come through, and it was a couple of months later. Any case, so I was yelling at Wayne. I said, "You better come through. You bet." I'm yelling at him. In any case, as I was driving to work that day for that appointment, a car cuts me off. And on the license plate, it said Dyer, Dyer 1 on it. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm trying to get my cell phone to take a picture. But, it's very difficult when you're moving. But I got a blurry picture of it. So I wanted to show the Dyers, what was happening. And after, I got there. And as soon as I came and I'm meditating, I always meditate before appointments. And eventually they came. And he immediately took on his personality, which is a lot stronger than mine. I'm kind of shy and, soft-spoken for the most part. And his family, who I'm trying to make a great impression with, they come in and I said, hello, I'm Karen Noe. I'm trying to be very calm. And Wayne came through and he said, hurry up, because I had to go to the bathroom. Hurry up, I want to talk. I said, I'm really sorry, but he's saying to hurry up and so forth. And Serena said, oh my God, that's him. That's the way he talked to us. Hurry up, don't waste time, blah, 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 blah. So after they sat down, after they used the restroom and so forth, we're all sitting down. And he said, he was so excited about the afterlife and so excited to talk about the we consciousness and about the interconnectivity of everyone and everything. And whatever you do to one, yourself or another, it affects everyone in this higher knowledge. He said, do you want to know that or do you want personal messages? Of course, they said they wanted to hear personal messages. Wouldn't you if your loved one passed? But in a way, that was good. Because Well,
Wayne
when
Dyer,
they,
Wayne Dyer's coming through with wisdom from excitement. That
I
sounds pretty
know,
exciting too.
but what happened was because of this, the messages that he came through with, they knew without a doubt it was Wayne. Whereas he would have said all this reconsciousness stuff, which was amazing, without the confirmation that it was really him. Does that make sense? They would have said,
Sure.
okay, maybe you're making it up and so forth. But he also, I didn't share with you if we have a few minutes. Do we have time? He
7 minutes.
he mentioned quite a bit at that initial reading that they knew without a doubt it was him. For example, he immediately said that Serena was pregnant. And Serena said, "No, I'm not. I just had a baby." I said, "Your dad is showing me he showed me fireworks and the 4th of July and so forth." She goes, I don't know. I'll tell you the ending to that in a moment. He spoke differently to each of his children. Now, Sage came, one of his children, Serena, and Sky, along with his wife Marceline, and he spoke to each of them differently. Like when he spoke to Serena, it was very forceful, like he was yelling, not yelling, but forceful, like like that, and it came through me. And when he spoke to Sky, it was very calm and soft spoken. And they're saying that's exactly the way he spoke to each of us. When he spoke to Sky, he said, "Yes, I did come as the white bird. Yes, it was me." And she was blown away because in the car, she said to her family, "If he truly comes through, I want him to mention the time that a white bird came in my backyard." And I said, "Dad, is that really you? And I want you to mention that at the reading." And that was one of the things that he mentioned, that he did come through as a white bird. And he spoke of very personal things and so forth, one of which I could share now, but some of these things they didn't know what it meant until later on. But he was mentioning an heirloom to Sage that she was going to get engaged, and I'm sorry that he spoiled the surprise, but that they were going to use an heirloom for her when she got engaged. And sure enough, she got engaged a few months later, and they used the diamond ring that the mother had. So as for the Serena story, she went home, took a pregnancy test. And again, this is the same story as with Christy. She was in the family way and she was due on the 4th of July. So what does this do? What does this all mean? When Wayne came through with these specific messages, the family knew without a doubt that he was speaking to them. There was no question about it. It wasn't something I could look online for. Because they said, could you look for it, Google, these types of things. But all of these things I would never have known. With this said and done, when this confirmed that it was Wayne, when he came through with the group consciousness, the we guides, it was confirmed that he was really part of that, that group consciousness. But
So it's
that was
confirmed.
a high
So it's
confirmed
confirmed.
that
What do they want to share with us? What do they want us to know? What is right
the
now?
most,
Right now, what is
the
this group?
most right now is to understand that we are all one. We are not separate from anyone or anything. After you leave the physical body, you're able to feel that oneness in an instant because your body is no longer separating you from anyone else. But they want you to know that right here and right now, and to treat everyone as that you would treat yourself, because everyone is a part of you. We are not separate from anyone or anything else. And to create peace on earth, don't look to anyone else. Create peace within yourself because you're just as important as everyone else. To create peace, understand that you're just as important as everyone else. Begin with yourself and then extend that peace to everyone else as well. Can I just share one more thing
Sure.
about when I first started connecting with Wayne? I was so nervous. I was at that event in Florida, and this was right after they were doing an event for Wayne Dyer at the conference center. And right after that, I was ready to go on the author bus, who had all of my favorite Hay House authors there, along with Wayne Dyer's family. Now, remember, this is the first time I met them, and I was nervous. So instead of going on that bus, I said, I am so insignificant. I'm so insignificant. I'm just going to walk back to the hotel room. I'm not going on that bus. And as I was saying that over and over again in my mind, I am so insignificant, that's when I heard Wayne for the first time. And he said strongly, get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. And I said, Wayne, is that really you? I said, if it's you, how may I serve? And he said, you're already serving. And I said, how may I serve more? And I said, if this is really you, even I was like, if this is really you, you have to give me a without a doubt sign to let me know that it's really you. I went back to the room, the hotel room, and there was something very itchy inside of my shirt. And I reached in to grab it. And there was a sticker that somehow had attached to itself to my shirt. And on the, I don't have it with me. I usually have it available. But on the sticker, it said W-E. And I didn't know what it meant at the time. I thought it meant Wayne, first letter, last letter of his first name, Wayne. But later on, I found out about the we consciousness and the interconnectivity of everyone and everything and all of that and the 33 concepts. And by the way, we're going to be sharing that on Humanities Team. We're doing a program. You'll be getting, if you sign up for the program, you'll be getting each concept every single day, every single morning, each of the concepts, and I will explain to you what each of them meant. And I'm really looking forward to that, to doing that with Humanities Team.
And of course, this is we watched concept number 13 as a sneak peek into the full program. And of course, this is also in reference to the book called We Consciousness. So certainly recommend anybody who is called here and with us to check out We Consciousness, the book, because all of the concepts some of these stories and all of the concepts are fully detailed in this book itself. So,
Yes,
Karen?
it's called Be Conscious, 33 Profound Truths for Inner and Outer Peace.
Yes, it is. And so, Karen, thank you for being with us today and for sharing these insights and these stories with us. Is there any closing, any parting thoughts or sentiments you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I want to say is, remember before I said that after we leave our physical bodies, we go through a life review where we're able to see and feel how we've affected each person through the other person's eyes. Don't wait until it's too late to do that. Try to see how you're affecting each person through each person's eyes that you encounter, and you'll create peace in your life and in the lives around you and the world as well.
Amen. Amen, sister, my mother. So thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Pamela, I'm not sure if you're still with us, Pamela, but Pamela, who led us on this meditation today. Thank you, Jim, for being here. Stephanie, who's in the house, and everybody who's here, and the cleaners who stopped vacuuming. And we will be back next week. Steve will be our host, and we have a wonderful guest lined up. Feel free to check out the calendar. That is somewhere on humanitiesteam.org for a fuller schedule. And as my mother, Karen, likes to end these things with often, we had a bulldog named Benny. And he was with us for some time, just through such changes and through such massive family events. So he was a glue of our family. And when Benny yielded the form, so to speak, he came through with some pretty nice messages for us. One of these was to my mother, Karen, and she likes to share, is to always focus on the love and the comfort, no matter what is going on. If you lose your vision, if your kidney ruptures, if your spleen ruptures, whatever it is, if you lose something, always focus on the love and the comfort that is here within ourselves. So, blessings. I love you all. I love us all. Thank you for being here. and God bless.